Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Basa, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We begin with Ivan Fresneda as the 18-year-old starlet could be closer to joining Barca with Deco now fully in charge. We are going to discuss on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about Sergio Des, as Barca have offered the 10 million rated young star to many clubs, but to no avail. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So, guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. If you're just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are highly welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Following the news that Deco has officially been appointed as Barcelona's new sporting director, transfer targets that the Portuguese icon placed emphasis on have a greater chance of being recruited now. One of Xavi and Barca's hierarchy's major concerns continue to be strengthening the right back department. The issues on the right flank were especially amplified in the preseason games and the league opener against Getafe. Even though Xavi and Matteo Alemany are seeking a more experienced option, when Manchester City's Joao Cancelo, particularly the coach's preference, Deco continues to prioritize the arrival of Real Valladolid young sensation Ivan Fresneda. Deco was already involved in the club's transfer business behind closed doors, but with his status as sporting director now official, Deco's decisions undeniably hold more weight now. According to Moy Lawrence, Deco being in charge means that Fresneda is closer to FC Barcelona. The Portuguese's liking for the 18-year-old had already been made clear as he remains his priority for the right back spot. Fresneda's contract with Valladolid contains a 20 million euro release clause, but the Catalan Giants have no intention of matching that sum. Instead, reports suggest that the La Liga champions could make an offer worth 9 million euros plus 6 million in add-ons to convince Valladolid. Meanwhile, with the Cancelo operation close to completion, the club is working to sign him on a loan deal and reduce City's buyback option to 25 million euros. The Manchester City man has already agreed terms with Barca and is pushing for the move. Now it remains to be seen whether the Blaugrana hierarchy will work to bring in Cancelo and Fresneda both this summer or prioritize only one of them. If the Catalans sign both, there is a good chance that Fresneda could be allowed to leave on loan to continue his development. Of course, the right back's position continues to bring a lot of headache. A lot of headache because Deco, who was appointed as the new sporting director officially yesterday, continues to prioritize even Fresneda over João Cancelo and other targets at that right back position, whereas Xavi Hernandez have always insisted that João Cancelo will be the player that Barca would sign. And of course, even as we have heard reports earlier this week claiming that Cancelo's deal to Barca looks like a possibility now, of course, a loan move with a purchase option of 45 million. Barca trying to, negotiate with City for that buyback option to be reduced to 25 million. But now we're talking about a new sporting director who now have the powers of doing what the sporting director should do. Still wants Fresneda to join. Of course, even Fresneda have been long linked with Barcelona, but since as there have not been that general consensus concerning the players signing, um, it has not been taken that seriously. We have to also remember that Xavi Hernandez has much more power in this transfer market because as Xavi did not want Fresneda, that is why hardly have we heard anything concerning Barca approaching Valladolid and offering the player or whatever. Nothing have happened. It's just been merely speculations, right? But when we're talking about what Xavi really wants, like Joao Cancelo's move looks very possible. And of course, Laporta looks like he prefers Joao Cancelo as well because Joao Cancelo's agent, George Mendes, has assured the president and the club that, you know, Joao Cancelo's move to Barca will be a deal done before this summer window comes to a close. So, for Ivan Fresneda's case, it's still not completely ruled out. He might still join Barca, but we know that Barcelona right now are going through a lot financially, and just to imagine those two right backs coming, it will be difficult to see that possibility because all of them are players that Barca will spend quite a lot. For Fresneda, Barca can spend even 15 million or more if they want to bring him, right? And also talking about a loan move for Joao Cancelo can cost Barca even about 15 million. So that will be huge amounts of money. So let's just see how the situation will look like heading into the end of this summer window. Then moving on to the final story of discussion. With speculations growing by the day, Barcelona's fringe assets that are placed on the market continue to entice attention. The La Liga champions are currently in the process of finding a new home for Sergio Des, seeking to transfer him to another team before the transfer window slams shut. Des's time in Barcelona has been shrouded with fluctuations in form and complications constantly interrupting his path. The player was sent out on loan in the previous season but endured a difficult time at AC Milan as well. As such, Barcelona have now been on the lookout to finally discover a potential suitor for the American fullback. While the Catalans continue to work tirelessly to get the player off their wage bill, Sergio Dest's pickiness over clubs interested in him has put the operation on a standstill. According to Gerard Romero, Des has been offered to a lot of clubs, that have, but no club shows interest in the player. Of his salary demands are also because he wants guaranteed game time. However, the report argues that he will certainly end up bidding farewell to Barca this summer due to the young star not entering the club's plans on for next season. Des has previously mentioned his desire to turn things around completely for Barca and make a name for himself under Xavi, but as things stand, his continuity appears improbable. So, guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.